Last time we saw the group as a whole, they had just returned from their adventure in the Feywild. They stepped through that open portal that was up on the mountain next to that altar with all the necromantic writing on it. They stepped onto a teleportation circle, which lit up and brought them back to the matching teleportation circle behind the Golden Frog back in Pennycross, where Shayla was waiting. As the rest of the group spoke with Shayla and started telling her all about what they had seen, what they had found, Ignition disappeared. So tell us, where did you go?
So, I am familiar with traveling around the material plane and bouncing between planes periodically. I have those wandering feet. But seeing something like this that is permanently open is a very curious sort of thing, and something that I have been told to keep an eye out for. So I have people that I need to go and talk to and discuss all of this. So when people weren't looking, I very quietly just stole away off around a corner, watched them go into the party, and then sauntered my way over to go talk to people.
Darling, where the fuck have you been?
The Feywild.
Really?
Yes.
You know, I think that perhaps this is not the location to have that discussion.
I think you are 100% correct, shall we?
That is an excellent plan. I think everyone here has had enough to drink at this point in the evening that they're not going to notice us stealing away, so come on.
Let's shall.
And your handlers will lead you back to the cabin that they are staying in. You have one that's nearby as well with some of the other travelers, but you go back to theirs. They sit you down. All right. Spill.
So, and then I will fill them in on the story of going to the Feywild, why we did. I do not tell them about the extra chunk of very, very valuable fiber that I have made off with for myself. But I tell them everything else that happened, including the interesting altar that we located.
Really? Well, that is very useful information, I believe. You are aware that you were gone for 2 days, not just an hour or so?
No. Wow.
Yes, it's been a while. We were wondering.
Well, time does move very differently in the Feywild, as we all know.
Clearly. And you say it was just an open portal?
Yes. And it seems...
No one summoned it?
No one summoned it. It just seemed to be there. And they don't think that's anything odd from what I'm seeing, that it's just there. I knew Pennycross was an odd little place, but to have just a portal to the Feywild wide open...
That's... You know, I think the most unusual thing is that they don't think it's unusual.
And given some of the stories that we've heard about goings-on in Pennycross.
True enough.
But even so, a portal that is just open between planes.
That's a problem. Things get through.
Yes, and from the Feywild? It could be worse. It could be the Shadowfell, but...
True, but the things in the Feywild. And you said there were Herschel in there, nearby.
Yes.
But the portal was too small for the adult.
Seemed to be. Although I do wonder if the children might not have gotten a curiosity.
Oh, that's all we need is a pile of Herschel pups trapped away from their mother. Oh, I wonder if you can tear a portal.
It might be briefly hilarious. But only briefly.
Only briefly. That would be a nice way to make a little bit of extra money.
A little bit. That fiber is some of the most expensive stuff on the plane.
Well, yes, I was trying to be subtle about it, but that is rather tempting.
Subtlety does not become us, dear.
Do they have anyone guarding this? Are there soldiers nearby?
Soldiers in Pennycross?
I don't know. They have a self-defense class. They've got that weird statue in the middle of the courtyard there.
Dear heart,
I wouldn't put it past them.
They barely have adventurers.
I suppose. I heard they had a dragon a few years back.
Yes, that is, I have gathered that much, yes.
That altar. Was there anything familiar about it to you?
Was there, GM?
I believe you recognize the necromantic symbols.
I think you're right. I think I remember someone saying that it was connected to the Necromancy War.
Oh, the Necromancer's War. Of course, we're getting back into that bullshit again. You know, the dead really ought to stay dead.
Yes,
they're happier that way.
But
we are happier that way.
The dead don't stay dead for very long when necromancers are about.
That is far too true. Right. And you said you got there using a teleportation circle. Have you got any idea where it would be on the mountain without that teleportation circle?
Ignition will stop and think about that based on what they saw outside of the cave, given the time of day and where the light was falling. Based on all of that, do I think that I could locate something along those lines?
I will let you give me a survival check to see what we can come up with.
Sure. All right, that is a 19 on the die, so that's 21 survival.
All right, yes. You feel quite confident that you could get them to the general area.
Okay.
Just hiking up the mountain if you wanted to.
I will point that out, but with some reluctance, perhaps. Ignition is not a particularly athletic person.
Yes, climbing a mountain is really no fun. But those teleportation circles, if you don't have a mage running them, it gets a little tricky. Was there a mage taking care of that for you? Do you know?
No, not to my knowledge. It was just there.
And it activated when you returned.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's also odd, right? That
yes, they are generally supposed to cast.
Turned it on.
Yes. No, I know. I don't play with the wizardly arts, but my artificing tends to play in those arenas.
I don't like this.
We're going up that mountain, aren't we?
I think we are.
Ah, fuck.
And this is where I'm going to give you a choice, Ignition. Are you going to go with your handlers and take a few days to head up the mountain, head back into the Feywild, perhaps, or just head up there, investigate the portal, and come back? Or are you going to stick around in town and perhaps visit with some of the other new and slightly more interesting folks you've met?
Well, as much as I am interested in what all of the new interesting folks are up to, this is one of the reasons why I'm here. So, as annoyed as I am about it, although I will try to suggest that we take the same route that we as the adventuring party did to get through a little bit faster than perhaps a few days.
Well, I suppose.
Everyone's going to be very busy at this party.
Yes.
And they're already not the most observant eggs in the basket.
You're right. Well, we're going to wait then. Just a little bit longer, just until they've all had enough to put them to sleep. And then we will give it a try. That portal over there, the teleportation circle. We'll see if we can perhaps make it work.
That is one of the things we do. Make it work. But if not, then I suppose we schlep all the way up the mountain.
That sounds absolutely no fun at all.
It sounds terrible.
You know, let me go get Tamaz. He'll take care of this for us.
He is a dear like that.
Well, we do call him a wizard with his knitting, but he does have a touch of literal wizard. He should be able to figure out that teleportation circle.
Just a touch. A little any more would be unbearable.
Oh, he's nearly unbearable as it is.
I know.
It's a good thing I love that man. All right. Some time passes. Stefan gets out his knitting and is working on some fabulously colored monstrosity. You're not sure entirely what it's going to be. It's hard to tell with some of his pieces what they're going to be before they're done.
That's valid. Ignition has pulled a little bit of fire out of their hair and is weaving it between their fingers.
Once it seems late enough in the night, Stefan will call for Tamaz, and the three of you will approach the Golden Frog. I would like you to roll me a stealth check, please.
Certainly. That is a 23.
Lovely. The three of you get up to the building, no problem. As you approach, the lights in the main portion of the building are off. There looks to be probably a candle burning in one of the upper rooms, probably where Chayla or Anyatha live, but just a single flame. It doesn't look to be a whole lot. Everyone else appears to have gone to bed for the evening. Well, for the night. It is well after midnight at this point.
These old people know how to party.
They do. So you get to the back of the Golden Frog, and it is very obvious where the teleportation circle is. And Tomaz is the one who kneels down and looks at it. This is interesting.
I'll join him looking at it, since I am also in the arcane school of magic areas.
It is a teleportation circle. It has to be activated the way a normal one does, but it's unusual in that it's a permanent one. This is gold in the ground here. It's not just drawn with chalk.
I mean, we've seen permanent teleportation circles elsewhere, but those are usually in the basements of wizard towers.
Or they're for traveling long distances and you pay good money for them. You don't usually see it going from the back of a knitting guild to a necromantic altar with a portal to the Feywild. That's just not...
Unless someone has reason to visit the Feywild frequently.
Interesting. Well, it's activated like any other, so he will pull out his wand. And... we ready?
Let's go.
He taps it. It flares, and you all are able to step through and find yourselves on the side of the mountain once more. In the clearing, in the moonlight, there's a bluish glow around the edges of the portal, and between that and the moonlight, you can see quite well.
My hair is also casting some light about us.
Yes,
so it
that's
is
true.
The mingling of the blue moonlight and the banked embers of their hair, but still a little bit of an orange glow.
So Stefan will beckon you closer. Come over here. Let's look at these symbols. And he starts examining the altar. And you see him sort of tracing his fingers over it. Interesting.
Don't you dare cast by accident.
No. That's not my type of deal.
Look, everything else here is weird. It wouldn't surprise me over much if somehow over tracing the runes could do some fuckery.
Oh, no. I'm not too worried about the runes, but here, come feel this. And he runs his fingers across the top of the altar. It looks smooth, but as you run your fingers across, you feel a crack. And you're able to trace it. And then you find more of them. And it doesn't look cracked, but you can feel it.
Do I see any telltale signs of an illusion spell now that I'm touching it and thinking about the fact that what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing are very different?
I would like you to roll me a perception.
Certainly.
I know you're looking, so we're taking that into account.
No, that's fair. That is 23.
All right, yes. As you're running your fingers across, because you're so close, and there's the glow of the portal and the glow of your hair, you see the tips of your fingers seem to dip below the surface at several points. And that is where you are feeling these cracks.
Oh, someone went to some effort to hide this.
Very interesting.
Was this broke? This must have been broken at some point.
It seems like it. And he is circling the whole thing, running his fingers everywhere now. And between the two of you, you're able to determine that this whole top was broken into multiple pieces and looks like it was probably also broken away from the legs, the base, and had been later reassembled.
So someone did the sensible thing and broke an altar with necromantic symbols all over it, and then someone else knew where it was and came up to put it all back together, and then went to the effort of putting a very good illusion spell on it.
Well, I don't like this.
No, it's terrible.
It is. I feel like we may have stumbled across someone who might be attempting yet another necromantic war.
Ugh.
Oh, you'd think they'd learn after losing twice,
You
right?
would think.
These fools. Well.
So what do we want to do with this? Do we leave it here? Do you want it to disappear into my workshop? I say as I pull out my portable hole and let the cloth drape over my hand. I can make it go away, but that may tip our hand.
That's what I'm afraid of. I don't want to give ourselves away too early. We don't know whose this is. Does it belong to that Chela woman that everyone seems so concerned about? Did she do this? Did she simply find a path to get some fantastic fiber and decide, well, I'm just going to sell some of this and use the money to make a path to get more of it?
Yeah, that wouldn't explain the altar, though, if she's the one doing it. Because you don't need the altar in order to go to the Feywild. There are countless ways to get to and from the Feywild.
But is it just coincidence that she happened to find this place?
I hate coincidences. They don't really exist.
No, they really don't. This portal, though. This portal, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Do you want to have a look through? I didn't recognize the immediate area, but it's an interesting thing to have a portal that is so close to the Herschel nest.
It is.
I mean, close. It was still a bit of a trek.
I'll stick my head through.
I will reach out and grip onto the collar of his fantastical outfit.
So he sticks his head through and looks around. And you can see through it. It's not opaque.
Is it the same time of day in the Feywild as it is here?
It is not. The sun is shining. There's some sort of critter chirping. Sounds vaguely bird-like, but not entirely.
Yeah, it's a Feywild copy of a bird of some kind.
He'll pull his head back through. There are lots of forests in the Feywild. This one looks somewhat familiar. The particular purples and blues of those mushrooms are not the most common, but they are found in a couple of places. So I need to do a little bit more research. But this portal is what is the problem.
Indeed. The fact that
Why
it is
just
open? Here. Who ripped a hole in the socks of the world?
Exactly. That's exactly what it feels like. Tomas, come take a look at this.
I'll scoot out of the way so that he can come and get a better look.
And he is a wizard. He's not a very strong wizard at this point, but he looks at it and examines it, pokes at the edge of it and pulls his finger back and shakes his hand a little. I mean, it feels like a normal portal. It doesn't feel different, but it's open.
Right.
He gets a little bit closer. And this time, instead of touching it from the outside, he touches it from the inside of the circle. And he doesn't pull his hand away and shake it like he's been shocked. You see a frown on his face. It feels like there's something intentionally holding this open. It doesn't feel like an accident that it didn't close. Does that make sense?
It does. Here, let me feel. And I'll go on the opposite side of the portal and run my hand over the inside of the circle.
And it feels smooth. You've accidentally touched portals going through them before.
Sure.
That's not unusual. That is something that is a familiar sensation for you.
It's an occupational hazard.
Indeed. It feels kind of prickly, almost like the toothy side of Velcro. Is the normal sensation. It doesn't hurt. It just
makes my fingers tingle.
It's a thing. But this, as you're running your hand along the inside, it feels like you're running your fingers along a piece of glass. If you switch your hand to the outside, you get the normal prickles.
Mm-hmm.
But on the inside, it's very smooth.
I'm going to run my hand all the way around the circumference of this portal, feeling for anything any identifying marks, any like patches of magic that make me react in any way, anything that might be an identifier of who or what is holding this open. And if I need to, I'll pull out some of my tools to like get a better look at things.
Roll perception first.
That's a 12.
Okay. And roll Arcana.
16.
It's very, very hard to feel. It's very subtle. But as you get near the top, there's a little bit of roughness. And you can't quite make it out. But based on your knowledge of magic and how portals work and how the world in general works, you think there may be some sort of runes or symbols that are part of whatever this is that is holding it open.
Huh.
And you do note, importantly, that they are on the Feywild side of the portal. So as you're running your fingers this way, you feel them on the inside. On the Pennycross side, you don't feel them.
Okay. I want to reach into my bag that I always have on me and ruffle around looking for my monocle, basically my eyepiece, to like snap a couple lenses into place and like lean up and through the portal to get like almost nose to nose with the portal to try and see if I can see the runes.
Okay. You do that. What languages do you read?
Common and Primordial.
Okay.
But I have a fair hand. I can copy down anything that I see.
This is not something you immediately recognize, but you can absolutely copy down these symbols. They're very faint. Roll me. We'll go sleight of hand.
Okay.
To see how well you're able to copy these.
Can I dip into my portable hole and go into my workshop and get some of the iridescent dye that I've been working on and see if I can smear it over the symbols to make them easier to read?
You can absolutely do that and give yourself a +5 to whatever you roll.
Sweet. All right. So that is 1621.
Okay. So you get what you believe is a very good copy of these symbols. As you show them to the other two, they both look at them, heads cocked, staring at it. Well, I don't know what this is. It's not helpful at all. Stefan, relax. Just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean it's not helpful, darling.
It's helpful in some way. This was deliberately placed and very well hidden. So, at the very least, I have it copied down, and I can start to make some inquiries to see if anyone recognizes the language. Carefully, of course.
Fine.
I'll reach over and just like very lightly tap it and tap the tip of his nose. It's okay.
You know I don't like it when I don't have the answers.
I know, but part of the fun is looking for the answers.
I suppose.
Yes, I know. It's very much the artificer way of doing things, but... This is wrong and I don't like it. And I want it to be fixed, thank you. No, I agree. It is curiouser and curiouser.
I suppose I'll have to send a message back. See if any of the others have found the same sort of thing. Did I mention that this is the only one that's open? I might have forgotten to tell you that.
Is it?
Yes, there have been a few others found. I don't recall anything about altars next to them, but there are at least 2 other portals that are stuck open.
Where do they go?
That information is classified, thank you very much. Need to know only. But,
if I'm going to be digging around
symbols.
in all of this, at least give me a clue. And we both know I'm going to be digging around in all of this.
Of course
Elbow
you are.
deep, in fact, because I'm already in with the people who started investigating this. And you know, adventurers, they can't let things go.
Well, this one, we now know, goes to the Feywild.
Indeed.
One of them, I believe, went to... I believe it was the Plane of Fire.
Really?
You say that with such interest. I mean, I know the hair and all that's your thing, but still.
I'm a fire genasi, dear. I'm intimately connected with the Plane of Fire.
Right. Well, because it is so hot and brutal, it's really not the sort of place that people want to have a portal just open all the time. They would like that closed. And
is it a
they're still
blasted
working on
heath
that.
around that?
Well, it's quite warm now. I'll see what I can disclose to you. I'll find out. I'll get your clearance level raised. It's fine.
Yay! Finally.
We'll get you sorted with that. I'll let you know where the location is, and you can go do your investigation with your little adventurers.
You'll send me with a sending stone, yes? Just to be sure.
Always. And the third, it was also on the side of a mountain, but I don't know where it went.
Interesting.
I don't know that anyone was stupid enough to go through it. Really.
Was there any sort of feeling or impression as you got closer? A sense of dread that might indicate the shadow fell? Something extremely cold to indicate the corresponding plane? Clockwork?
You know, those are all wonderful questions, but since we weren't the ones there, I don't fucking know. No one tells me anything that I don't need to know. And I don't like not knowing things.
I know, dear.
Right. I don't suppose they have a library in this town, do they?
I think they do, actually.
Well, good. That's going to be your job tomorrow. You're going to have to find a librarian and see if you can find a book of languages, a Rosetta Stone, an alphabet book for toddlers. I don't know.
Watch who you're calling a toddler, dear.
Well, not you, of course, but, you know, those children's books always have the letters in such clear writing.
That's true. I'll look down at my notebook again. There's something about this. I don't know what, but it's making my brain itch.
Itchy brain. I love when you get an itchy brain.
Yes.
That means I'm going to get answers.
We find out all sorts of interesting things then, yes, don't we? God help us.
Tamaz, you got one more spell in you tonight? Yes. All right. Well, let's head back then.
All right, but definitely keep in mind the offer to make this altar go away. I'm unsettled by this.
Keep that very much in mind. I don't know if these two are connected. I may just have to send you to the other portals to find out.
Ugh. I mean, I don't mind, but it does seem like a bit of a ways.
It does, doesn't it?
But
right, well,
needs must when the devils drive.
So you head back and take your rest for the day. You've been up quite late.
Yes.
And so I would not be surprised if you spent much of the next day asleep, catching up on your beauty rest.
Ignition is the sort of person who kind of routinely stays up very late when they don't realize that they have gotten just too deep into a text of some variety. As far as like general investigative attitude, I'd like you to think of Kate McKinnon's character from the Ghostbusters movie.
All right.
So, like, when there's a mystery to be solved, no one needs caffeine.
Well, unfortunately, you do have to wait for the rest of the town to wake the next day.
Yeah, I think that I wake around 8, 9 o'clock, possibly as late as 10.
Tomaz is also awake. He'll be knocking on your door around 10:30. A reasonable hour.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, I've done a little bit of listening for you.
Ooh.
There's another tavern, bar, thing in town. It's run by this fellow called Herder and his wife Hespera. And they seem to have a very large stash of books.
Ooh.
It's not officially a library, but they're the ones to speak with if you are looking to do any sort of research.
Marvelous. All right, well then, I will go and have a word with this Herder and Hespera. Once I have gotten breakfast sorted.
Lovely. You can have breakfast at the Golden Frog. That seems to be the location that you're the most familiar with. There's the coffee shop, but you know that if you end up there, you're likely to get sidetracked.
Not least because that does seem to be where everyone goes. And while everyone can be a very useful and interesting distraction, especially that Mez fellow, is probably in my best interest to avoid places where I think that people who I have met previously will talk to me.
All right. So yes, you're able to get a reasonable breakfast from the Golden Frog. When you ask for directions to the other tavern, you get a bit of a glower from the bartender, but then he gives a big sigh. Fine. They've got good ale. Don't tell Anyatha I said that.
Tell Anyatha you said what?
Good job. Head out of here. Turn right. Over there. Can't miss it. Stout Singer.
Lovely, thank you.
Watch out for the kobolds.
Kobolds?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an entire story behind that.
We're used to them now. Mostly.
Must have been quite a period of adjustment.
Yeah. They're not allowed in here.
That makes perfect sense. And I will put a gold piece on the counter. Thank you very much.
He nods and goes back to whatever it was he was doing.
Probably cleaning glasses. It is always cleaning glasses.
It's always cleaning glasses. So you're able to make your way down to the Stout Singer. And as you walk in, you are greeted by a bright blue kobold. Hi! Welcome!
I only because I was warned about the kobolds, I don't immediately produce flame to deal with possible problem, but Iggy's fingers still twitch at the idea of it.
He is grinning at you, all of his teeth showing. It's a little creepy.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Is Master Herder or Mistress Hespera about?
They're downstairs reading.
Perfect. Would I be able to go bother them?
Oh, I can't just let you down there. But, I can go get them.
That would be
Hold on,
that would
I'll
be
be
lovely.
back.
Thank you.
And as this blue one scurries off, a green kobold comes up and sits behind the counter and stares at you.
Good morning.
Morning. And there's a very long, drawn-out, awkward silence with this kobold just staring at you.
I look back with mild interest and then just start, in kind of like the stim way of someone who can't quite sit still, absolutely run fingers through hair and begin playing with the fire between fingertips.
The kobold's eyes get bigger. Oh.
You like that? And I'll start juggling with the flame, catch it all in one hand, and then open my fingers in a cat's cradle of flame.
They giggle a little bit and give a little clap.
Bow very dramatically.
And in a flurry of just enormous energy, the blue one comes trundling back from the back room. Right! Miss Esper says you can come downstairs. Come on!
Lovely, thank you. And I'll snuff out the fire because you don't bring fire around books. That's the quickest way to piss off someone who likes books.
Exactly. So you follow the kobold through the back room and down a rather strange tunneling path. It's much cleaner than it used to be, but it is clearly carved out of rock. And it's a long, winding path that opens into a very large room with bookshelves carved into all the walls. And there's a halfling woman sitting at a table in the center of the room with a book. Oh, hello. You must be the person who was interested in me? The books? I'm not sure. Corey was a little bit unclear.
I come in and give a very proper little bow. Yes, actually, I would, well, you are clearly the keeper of all of these wonderful tomes, and I have a little bit of a puzzle that I'm working out.
Oh, really? We do like puzzles around here.
Aren't they fun?
What sort of puzzle?
I'm going to come over and I copied some of the runes carefully out of order onto a different page of my journal. And I will open to that page and show it to her. Do you have any notion what language this might be from?
Interesting. That script looks maybe a little draconic, but it's hard to say if it's actually draconic or just someone who studied it and likes the way it looks.
It is very pretty. It has all of those lovely little swirls.
It is. It's very, very rounded words, symbols, language. It's not familiar to me. And, Herder's out dealing with Mayo Sue. She got into, more Mayo.
I feel like there's an entire
ask.
Story around all of this.
There is, but I'm sure you've got other things to do than listen to stories about kobolds and the trouble they cause. But perhaps... I'm so sorry. My name is Hespera, and you are?
I'm Ignition. Iggy for short.
Iggy. Lovely to meet you. Are you new in town?
Yes, I came in with the caravan earlier to celebrate the birthday.
Lovely. And will you be in town long?
Unsure at the moment. We sort of go where the wind takes us, and Stefano and Tomas do love going around and teaching classes and all of that sort of lovely thing. So we may leave tomorrow, or we may leave in a fortnight. It's hard to say.
Interesting. All right. She looks down at your feet. What are you wearing? Shoes?
Yes. Very, very lightweight. Actually, let me look at the character model that I made. Yeah, so they're wearing boots that are made of overlapping fireproof leather that looks very decorative, but if you know craftsmanship, you know that these are very well made and probably quite expensive.
And she clocks that. Well, I don't like to lend my books to folks who don't live in town because, they tend to go walking away, but if you will leave me your boots, you can borrow as many books as you'd like, because with boots like those, I know you'll come back for them.
Oh yes, I'm quite fond of them.
Yeah, right.
Certainly. And I will balance on one foot and pull one off and then pull the other one off.
And she'll tuck them neatly under her desk and then lead you over to a section of shelves and say, this is where a lot of our foreign language books are. The top row there are more like dictionaries, some translations. There are some that are handwritten and some that are more printed, so you'll see different types of fonts. These ones down here, these are stories. So it's probably not what you're looking for. It's not already translated. These ones are really best if you already know the language. And these ones down here, on the bottom shelf, they're more of a children's book that is sort of an introduction to the language. Again, it's not translated, but we've got our A is for apple, and it will be a picture of an apple and maybe not an A, because if the word for apple is like palm, it starts with a P, but it will give you an idea-ish.
Certainly.
You might want to use one of the translating books to help with the symbols, but if you want to look through those and take a few of them and take your time, and then just when you're done, bring them back and we'll exchange for your boots.
Sounds lovely. And I will reach into my bag and pull out a heavy leather kerchief and tie it over my hair to keep flames contained and away from very fragile pages.
Oh, you are so considerate. I really appreciate that. I wasn't going to say anything because, if you're looking for books, you're probably someone who already understands them, but I do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh, we do our best to keep books as safe as possible, of course. We don't want them to be foxed, dragoned, or burnt.
True enough. Well, I'll leave you to it.
Thank you.
And she does step away and let you look through the books.
At this point, my homunculus cat is going to come out of the bag and come and sit on my shoulder. I'm going to reach up, scritch behind the ears absently, and be like, all right, well, we should have a look. So I'm going to start, I'm going to flip to a page where an actual word is. Mm-hmm. And, painstakingly start going, Ignition is the sort of person who will hyper-focus when given a puzzle. So they will completely lose track of time going through methodically, book by book, just into looking for anything that is like what is on the page, what they wrote down.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
That is a 21.
With a 21, you were able to find about 6 books that have the same style of the lettering that you're looking at. And as you are sort of wrapping up looking at those, Hespera comes back to you. I'm really sorry to interrupt. I know you're busy, but unfortunately...
I definitely startle when I hear her voice next to me, because I had completely forgotten where I was.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Unfortunately, we do... I need to take a lunch, and I prefer not to leave people down here with my books alone, if you understand.
Oh, no, absolutely. But I think I have found at least a good starting place.
Oh, okay, good. Well, if you want to take those books with you, I have your boots, and you can come back once you have found what you need, or if you need to find more, we can see what we can do for you.
My homunculus jumps off of my shoulder and twines around Hespera's legs and head bumps.
Oh, she'll give scritches. Aren't you just the sweetest little thing?
Yes, go take your lunch. I'll follow you up.
All right, and she will lead you up.
I do pause long enough to take my nicely knitted socks off because you don't want to wear holes in the bottom of them.
No.
And I am well accustomed to walking around barefoot when necessary.
You are then able to return and start pouring through those books.
Yeah, I go into the cabin that I am staying at, and whether or not I'm sharing it with other people, I'm unsure at this point. But if I assume everyone else is out doing daylight things, so I'm going to close the door, lock it, possibly prop a chair under the handle just to make sure I'm really not bothered, and then light candles carefully around the middle of the cabin room. And just plop down in the center and spread everything out. It's a murder board, but on the floor instead of a wall.
Yay! All right. Give me one more investigation.
That is another 21.
It takes you the rest of the day. But as you're poring over these books, it looks like the symbols are similar to Draconic. But while Draconic is sharp and angular and claw-like, these symbols have all been smoothed over and made prettier and look vaguely elvish.
So it's Draconic letters by way of an elvish scribe.
That's what it looks like. I'll let you roll me an insight, please.
Yeah, that is a 16.
That is exactly the conclusion you come to, is that it looks like Draconic, written by someone who is not super familiar with Draconic, but uses Elvish.
Does it have any of the characteristics of a particular sort of elf? You know, like a wood elf would be a little bit closer to the Draconic because they are a little more rustic. High elf would be very like scribal versions of it. An Eladrin would have a little bit more of that wild fae energy to the letters.
This feels more high elf. It is like a very highly decorated Draconic.
Okay. Am I able to work out what it says?
Go ahead and roll me one more investigation.
That was a not 20 for a 25.
As you figure out the translation as best you can, you also probably giggle a little, because it seems to say something along the lines of, "Stay open, damn it."
Yeah, that track. That's also very interesting, though, because that's more something that I would say, or a very frustrated Tomas might say. So to me, someone able to hold portals open permanently indicates to me a high-level magic user. So someone who is getting frustrated by it is interesting to me.
You do know that portals are not meant to stay open.
Yeah. They are a hole in the sock of the world, and the world likes to darn that as fast as they can.
Exactly.
To stretch a metaphor entirely too far.
So portals want to close, and someone trying to keep one open has probably spent a lot of time trying to work against the nature of these portals, and likely has become very frustrated with it.
I do chuckle at the verbiage of these particular runes, but also consider the kind of person who would be putting this much time and effort into keeping portals open. And I'm drawing basically like a forensic police sketch in my head of the kind of person who would do something like this.
Night has fallen. It is dark out. Your other roommates, you might have heard the doorknob jiggle a couple of times, and they've clearly given up.
Good.
With the way that you have everything set up and keeping them out. Your stomach rumbles, and as you finally consider taking a break, roll me a perception.
Oh, good. That is a 16.
You hear footsteps outside your door, and then they stop.
I'm going to get up, cat silent on bare feet, and move. If there's a window by the door, I want to just like kind of Elroy was here, or whoever that character is, kind of Kilroy was here, kind of eek.
You see a figure clothed in black. Seems to be human, wearing dark leather and chainmail, just standing, arms crossed at your door, looking at the door, as if he's waiting for you.
Okay. Is there a window at the back of the cabin?
Sure.
Cool. I'd like to go out through that.
All right.
And come around carefully, slowly, mostly because I don't want to be in a doorway if someone is about to like throw things at me. Old instincts die very hard. And as I come around the corner, I'll run my fingers casually through my hair and hold a handful of fire and just like, hi, can I help you?
His shoulders raise and fall with a sigh. And he turns to you. And you notice most his very piercing green eyes. And they almost seem to stare through you.
I'll let them stare right on through.
He sighs again and gives you a good up and down look. Says, "You'll do."
Oh, will I?
And then he turns around and walks away. You can give me a religion check, if you would like.
Oh, no. That's a 14.
You don't know who this man is, but there is something about him that just sort of unsettles you.
Which kind of unsettles me? There are several flavors of unsettling. And the religion check makes me think avatar or servant of a god.
That is the sort of general vibe. There is a sort of quiet power that rolls off of him.
Don't deal with gods. We have an agreement. I work on my shit and you leave me alone.
You hear a chuckle coming from the mist as he disappears into it.
Fucking gods.